Source Nation, join us now for Can We Talk with Master Relationship Coach and Empowerment Speaker Myra McKnight, as she answers your most pressing questions about love, marriage, and your life. Source Nation, here is your host, Myra McKnight.
Myra McKnight with Can We Talk, and I am in my home studio, and I have Miss Coranda Peeples in her home studio talking about an amazing book that she has written. And glad to be in your presence. I'm glad you're in my presence. And I want to tell you a little bit about what I do know about Coranda is that I met her something totally different. But what I found in her right then is that she has an extremely kind of a very soft presence. And her spirit is just kind of overwhelming. She's the sweetest young lady in the world. And we were in a totally different area. But it just kind of lets you know how God works things out. And God does everything for a reason. And just over the years, her phone number was always in my phone, and then she would call for a reason, and I would call her for a reason. And I happened to see this book that she wrote. I knew about her story, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about that. She told me about her story, but she put her story into book form. And it is an amazing, inspirational book that everybody wants to get a chance to read. And I suggest even a lot of the young people read, only because she has beat the odds, and it's not like she beat the odds on her own. She beat those odds with God just right there with her every step of the way. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest for today, which I am grateful to have, and thankful that she gave me a little bit of her time, is Coranda Peeples. And hello again, Miss Peeples.
Hello.
So tell us a little bit, our Source Nation family, a little bit about you, and then let's talk about your book.
Okay. Well, as she just said, my name is Coranda Peeples.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 31. I was born back in Augusta, Georgia, and I grew up in Rennes, Georgia, but I moved to Atlanta, Georgia back in 2008, and I've been here since then.
Okay.
So I only have one daughter. I'm not married, and I wrote a book. Actually, I started writing the book as therapy for the situation, and it turned into a book. It was pretty much just a journal, and I just started writing, and this was back in 13, and I just honestly put the book aside and didn't think about it anymore. Then something hit me one day. I said, let me finish what I started. So I did finish it, got it published, and got it on Amazon and so forth. So that's pretty much all about me. As far as my family, I do have one sister, and I do have 4 brothers, which is one who's in the car accident with me. He's deceased now. And we all grew up back in Rennes.
Tell us about what prompted the book. I know what happened. Tell our audience a little bit about what happened, because if you look at the cover of that book, and let's show the audience the cover of the book, Coranda.
Okay.
Just so they can see. And if you all can just see, look at that. I'm going to put that on my website as well, too. But when I pass by crash sites like that, the first thing I do is just pray for that person, or pray for anybody. Because when you see something like that, you know that is not a good sign whatsoever. So you were in a crash with you. It was you and your brother.
Correct.
Okay. And kind of tell us a little bit about what happened.
I'll be as brief as possible because I don't want to tell so much, but
right.
Just know that it was raining, and if any of you are on I-20, you know how the traffic can be when it's not raining. So imagine what it's like when it's raining. And then I just lost control, and I went over to the median and then to the other side of the oncoming traffic, and that's where a big truck hit me and split my car in half. And my brother and myself were both ejected, but we was ejected on different sides of the road. And so far he passed, and I had to go through numerous of surgeries and learn how to do a lot of things over again.
On your own.
I was hospitalized, and then I finished doing rehab at the Shepherd Center, which is a very popular rehab here in Atlanta.
And Buckhead, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Wow, wow. And you, after you went through that journey, and that was and I think at some point, that was just a horrible, horrific time in your life. I can imagine. But then during your journaling and your rehab, but your faith, though, tell us about that. Your faith has brought you a long way.
Right. At first, I didn't have much faith, like
Okay.
at all. I guess because once I realized that I was actually in the hospital, which was weeks later, I didn't even know that I was there. But when I did realize that I was actually in an accident and everything had happened, and I saw that I was in a wheelchair, that's when I lost all hope, faith, everything.
Mm,
Honestly, I didn't even care to be alive. I'm just
yeah.
like, I don't want to be here. But as I continued to stay in the Shepherd Center
Hmm.
on the brain injury floor, because I did have a brain injury,
Okay.
and I saw the other ones that was there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it made me like, oh my God, I am not supposed to be here. Those people were in very, very bad shape. I thought
Yeah.
that they actually made a mistake and put me on
And
that floor.
put
I
you
was like,
there.
I know
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be on this floor. They was like,
Yeah.
yes, but it was bad. From that day when I kept seeing those people and how they was like in much worse shape than I was. And
Yeah.
once I saw them every day, I kept saying, I said, you know what? I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna
Mm,
walk. I'm gonna
mm,
walk. And I remember
mm,
telling one of my therapists that, and she was just like, in due time, we'll see
mhm,
what happens.
mhm,
We don't
mhm.
know. And so actually one day they stood me up, and it wasn't the prettiest walk or nothing like that,
Yeah.
but I did take a step with them, and it took me a long time to walk on
Wow.
my own
Wow.
without a rope being around me and without holding someone's arm or hand or something like that. Like
Wow.
today, I walk perfectly fine today,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
at then I lost it. But because I saw others
Yeah.
that had been in something tragic, or that's what gave me that faith. I said, I know that God is gonna let me walk and let me be better than what I was
Okay.
before that
Okay.
day I had the accident.
Wow. Wow. So you were, I mean, which all of us do, and that was a lot of
Hmm.
hope. And you think about it, Corinda, and I think about some of us who didn't experience what you did and still have so little hope. And you had to pull hope up from somewhere, I mean, out the sky, because
Yes.
that was not like you could just be there and say, okay, well, tomorrow it's better,
Right.
or next week is better, or
Mhm.
even next year it's better. So it just kind of makes me think about how selfish a lot of us can be when we're
Very.
hoping for a dollar,
Mhm.
or we're hoping for a man, you know, or you're hoping for something that is so minute and trivial
Mhm.
when you had to hope for your life,
Right.
and so you had to have that determination. Even though you were there in the Shepherd Center, you really had to have a lot of determination, a lot of hope, and a lot of faith, and a lot of belief
Oh
that,
yeah.
I'm gonna walk,
Oh
you
yes.
know
Oh yes. Oh yes.
and
And
that's a testament to other people.
mhm.
Where you speak at, when you speak to other people, that's a big testament to say, what you had to overcome was just amazing, for
Mhm.
sure. And then even through all of that, and how close you were possibly not being here or didn't want to be here,
Right.
you brought a little bambino into the world.
Right.
Ah!
I did. I did. And that was something that the doctors told me. Well, they
Yeah.
told me and my brother, because one thing about it, when I tell you I was never alone the entire time, my family and friends showed so
Yeah.
much support
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It is amazing. I'm talking about every day, all
Hmm.
day.
Hmm.
I don't care what I had to do. They was
Hmm.
right there the entire, and they still are today.
Yeah.
But they told me that, because of all the injuries, because I was semi cut in half, like from this bottom midsection, and they said that I couldn't have kids. But at that time, I honestly didn't care. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I didn't want kids anyway. I never wanted kids, like
Yeah.
never. I
Yeah.
didn't. So I was like, okay, I don't even want kids. And they kept saying it. So then I went on with therapy, 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 therapy. Then when I was released from Shepherd Center, I had to go to the outpatient
Hmm.
Shepherd Center, which I would go 3 days a week. And that's when I was sick and I was pregnant then, but I didn't know that that's what was going on with me. And once they told me, I almost fell out. And I was just like, oh my God. And the lady was like, well, we're not God. I said, yeah, you got that right, because I was told I cannot have kids. Now I have a daughter, which now she'll be 3 next month. So, she is my blessing. She is the reason I wake up every day. Like, she is me. Like, without her, there's no me. So I'm very thankful and very blessed for her.
I can imagine. She's the cutest little doll.
Yes,
she looks like her mom. Now, your mom had 2 girls and 4 boys.
Yes.
Okay. And during that, how has this, because I don't want to give a lot away about the book, because you got to get the book. You guys got to get the book, buy the book, and read the book. And then pass the book along, or buy 2 books or somebody else. But it's about courage and it's about hope. A hope that you had to come from, and then the courage to even try to live a normal life as possible, trying to walk and that kind of thing. So because I work a lot with women and some of the downfalls and things they have, and I always got to talk about relationships. Right. So tell me how this thing that happened to you in your life, in your family's life, how were you able to integrate a relationship inside of that?
Honestly, I wasn't. I thought that I was ready to just continue what I was already doing before the accident happened, which was being in a relationship. Yeah. And I wasn't. It didn't go good. It was just, I was dealing with a lot of depression and, stress and stuff like that. And it's hard to try to love someone else when you barely love yourself. So absolutely. My boyfriend at the time, Douglas, we decided to go our separate ways, and we remained friends, but we just decided to go our separate ways. And I reconnected with my daughter's father, which I've known him since I moved to Atlanta. Okay. And we really was not in a relationship. And she came about and we tried to make that work. Right. But it still didn't hit me like, okay, you got to be in a relationship, you got to do this. But at that time, it was so much that was going on with my head. Like, my body still wasn't healed. I'm pregnant. I was sick, and everything was going on. So it's like I had to put being in a relationship on the back burner, which I still have it on the back burner. I still have not yet to jump back into a relationship. I'm just trying to focus more on her and focus more on my well-being every day, because with a toddler, I don't care how sick you are, you're going to have to get up with that toddler every day. And she want to do all kind of stuff. And I'm just like, mommy don't feel good, or mommy this, or mommy that. She's like, mommy, no. So, you have to kind of focus on you and your child at the moment. And I'm not saying anything about people that are married, because some people can do it. But I'm speaking for myself with the physical stuff that I have going on. I just have to put it on the back burner until I know for sure in my heart that I'm ready to be in one. Because one thing about us, we tend to move fast and try to think with our head and not with our heart, and then we end up in a kind of tight situation, which I really wish I had just been by myself after the accident, but it didn't go that way. But you live and learn.
You live and learn. Sometimes you can't tell what's going to happen in life. And, even though, your partner was there at that point, Right. And what I commend you for is having the courage to say to yourself and knowing in yourself that, you know what, I don't need this right now. Right. Because I need me, and I need to be me for my daughter. And that's important. And then you realize when you didn't have your daughter that you needed your space for yourself. Right. And a lot of times as women, we don't realize that, Coranda. We don't realize that, you know what, it's going to be okay. The guy will come, another guy will come, or the same guy will come around. But right now, it's about me, myself, and I, and what I have to do for me. And you could not even begin to imagine that all these things were going on, but you know what? We are complicated beings as women.
Yes.
And a lot of times we don't even know why we don't know. And then he might say, well, why you don't want to be in a relationship? We can't even tell him why, because we really don't know why. All we know is we don't want to. Right.
At that moment, we just don't want to
Right.
do it. So.
At that moment, and next month we might call you back and say, hey, but that's the up and down of being a female. And I always say to the men in my practice, I say, and that's even to my husband, I said, you just have to ask God, because I can't really tell you why I might be up and down one day and a different space the other day, but that's how we're created as women. But at the same time, you had the strength and the tenacity to just kind of get through it as best you could. And that's another reason too, Coranda, it's grateful of support. Another thing that I'm hearing you say, because a lot of times people don't have support.
Right. Yes, very true.
Or they reject support. But you had a support system that was there for you to help you get over as much as they could help you. But you're the one who had it within you and that faith to pull you through that.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And as you're going across the country and selling your books and talking to people, what are you trying to get them to really understand?
My main focus for the book is to encourage anyone that has been through a tragic time where they almost lost themselves or lost a loved one, that it's going to be okay. It's going to be another day. So you have to take that. It's going to always be a part of you, but don't let it drown you.
Yeah.
Don't get soaked in depression. Don't do anything that's going to cause more harm to your family.
Absolutely.
So just try to wake up and live every day and not dwell on the past. Because honestly, I never used to like to even talk about that day, and I don't talk about it too much today, because it do bring like a lot of tears and all that. So I briefly talk about it, but I don't get stuck into it. And that's what used to happen. I used to talk about it, and I may be in my feelings like all day, like moping around and depressed. But you cannot do that, because mental is very important. If your mental is not strong and you start getting weak in your mental, people don't understand you could die from that type of stuff, depression, all that. You don't have to get shot or stabbed. You could die from something mental.
Absolutely.
You could, like, drain yourself and you just be tired. And
Absolutely.
I just didn't want that. And I just wanted to finish the book to encourage anyone. I mean, because people go through all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Like, I see wrecks pretty much most of the time when I'm driving. So, it happens. That's something that we can't stop, but we have to learn to pick up the pieces and keep moving. So that was my purpose for writing the book, pretty much to encourage, not to just be like, oh, I had a wreck, oh, feel sorry for me. No, because I don't feel sorry for me. I'm trying to encourage everyone.
Absolutely. And it's inspiration. And something you said, which I truly believe, Coranda, is that people always talk about the story. I'm just a little different in that way. People always talk about the story, the tragedy, the problem, the issue, oh, woe is me kind of thing. And just like you said, they dwell on that thing. But I think what's powerful about that is the victory on the other side. That's the most powerful thing, because when things happen to us, they happen to us, and we don't want to dwell on that part. But we want to dwell on the fact that where I'm now, look at me now. Look how I can help you now. Look how I can encourage you now. Look how I can encourage somebody else now. And that's the whole gist of what I believe is most important in anything. Because a lot of times people want you to have a song, have a sad song, and have a, feel down. And as you just said, I'm so grateful that feel sorry for me, feel bad for me. But no, look at me. I don't need you to feel bad for me. I need you to cheer me on as I encourage you, and to say, wow, I can be better too. I can do better too. And I'm so glad that you said that, because people get it mixed up. They get it twisted of wanting to stay in a position of victimhood. Kind of woe is me kind of thing. But no woe is me. Let's not talk about, especially when we're dealing with women with domestic violence and bad relationships and cheating husbands and all kinds of other things. And I'm finding more and more that it's not so much about the story, but it is about where you stand now, the restart button.
That's right.
You hit the restart button, and now I'm moving on. And let's not dwell in that, because you don't grow any flowers in the story. The flowers are grown afterwards. And now God is just showing you where he is, and the incredibleness of and power of you, because he had concentrate on you, on your strength to pull out faith from somewhere.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's a story right there.
Yes, ma'am.
How you got over that and then created life.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
a story right there. And when she smiles every day, and then you get up, you know, even when you're feeling your pain, you're still gonna smile, because it's kind of like, this is a jewel right here. This is what I bought. This is what I live for. So your story comes from one position to the other. So I'm so glad that you said that about not putting you in that basket that is more about inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah. And you carry such a light spirit on you that you kind of know that when you look at that picture, that God has definitely shined on you.
Right.
And I think I talked to you even before you had the baby, and you told me about it. It was probably, we probably talked with a year at a time or something like that in between.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had that then, you know, but God was just preparing you for what he has for you to do. And you're not even done, I'm quite sure. So what's your next step? What else are you going to do?
Right now, the only thing that I'm doing, I'm trying to focus on just pretty much traveling, going different places, speaking on the book, groups, hospitals, even signed up to volunteer at the Shepherd Center.
Oh, wow.
I did donate my book, and it's in their library also. Yeah. So I want to always just talk to people, and I won't say like I want to talk to the youth. I want to talk to anyone who has been through like a tragic thing. I'm not putting an age limit on it. So I just want to speak and let them know that tomorrow is a brighter day, but you cannot stay right here today. You cannot stay in this moment, because if you stay in this moment, you're not going to excel till tomorrow. So
absolutely.
I just want to keep doing that. I don't know if I'll ever write again. I did say that I wasn't, but I'm not going to say that. So we'll just see. Because I won't say that, because I didn't think that I really would have written this book, but I did. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to write again. But I just have to go with the pace and see.
Right. And just see where life leads you, because you're still young, very young. You got a lot of life ahead of you, and you got a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot that you can give to the world. And I think that, you know, I always tell ladies that I don't care how old you are, you can touch somebody in your way. And I might not touch a particular person that you can get to. So it just depends on where that person is in their lives to help you be able to facilitate to them what they need, you know. And you can touch a person, Coranda, where they didn't have that tragedy, but it's something about you that will inspire them to move further and to do some other things. So that's a good thing. So if they want you to speak and they want you to come to an event or something like that, what's your social media platform information?
Facebook is Author Coranda Peeples, and that's Coranda. First name is Peeples. Or just wanted to purchase the book, they can go to Amazon.com and they actually just put my name in, and the book will show up, and it's my life based on a true story. But yeah, Facebook is like my main platform right now.
Okay, good. So Facebook's your main platform, and they can just put the book name My Life and come up Coranda Peeples. And she's already on Facebook, so that's a good thing. You can always get to her, instant message and things of that nature. Be able to chat with you if they need to get to you through that. Well, you know, Coranda, I really wanted to not to give too much about the book, but to let our audience know that it is a book to read.
Yes,
it's definitely a book to read, and it's a book for people who to be encouraged from where they were and where they are even into where they're going, just to be able to highlight some of that. A lot of people that go through different things write books for different reasons. And I think this reason right here is a phenomenal reason. And then with all the outcome, the good stuff that has happened, as you still go on your journey, that's even better. You know, so I would love, you know, I don't know if you're going to write another book or what you're going to do next, but I'm quite sure it's going to be something you're going to be doing. You're going to wake up one morning and it's like, you know,
I know, right?
You think when you're done and settled, you're going to wake up one morning and something else is going to change, and you're going to want to contribute to society. And that's a big thing. Women are doing that a whole lot more these days. They are stepping up to be the platform of the world.
Right.
And, you know, I'm quite sure women, you know, all over the country could benefit from your book. And it's a blessing that you're going to volunteer at the Shepherd Center. That's a blessing,
Yes, ma'am.
you know,
Yes.
because they've been a blessing. And
Yes.
it's always good to give
Yes.
back. And you just
Mhm.
never know who you might meet into interim of that too. So
Right.
being out doing good brings good. So
Yes.
that's a great thing. So Coranda, I am so grateful that you took a few minutes out of your holiday. I would love to have you come back in again and maybe do some co-hosting with me for encouragement for ladies, because I always try to bring something non-traditional but
Right.
inspirational and encouraging. And I'm always open for authors and people who have a word to give, because we all need that. You know, that's
We do.
extremely
We
important.
do.
And it doesn't matter what color we are, what culture we are, what age we are, as
Doesn't
human beings,
matter.
we need that tremendously. So I am going to let you go for now so you can continue doing your life and you. And I really thank you for taking the time to come on Can We Talk and talk about your amazing book, My Life by Coranda Peeples. So make sure you go on Amazon and pick that book up, pick up two, give it to somebody else and bless somebody else. And just be a blessing when someone is being a blessing. That's always good. People don't know how nice you are until you show them how nice. So we have Miss Coranda Peeples here, the author of My Life. And that is her book about inspiration, courage, and even, you know, love. So we hope to see her back here in the studio again. And thank you again, Coranda, for being a part of it. Okay?
Thank you so
welcome.
much for having me. To have my website also is www.corandap.com. That's CORANDAP.com. You can also purchase a book there if you don't go on Amazon, but definitely check me out on Facebook, Author Coranda Peeples. And God bless you. And I hope your TV interviews go well. And I wish you the best.
I know you do, and I wish you as well, dear. And I thank you so much. I'm going to be calling on you again. So you just stay on Facebook because I'm going to call on you again.
Okay, thank you so much.
All righty, have a good one.
You
thank
too.
you. Bye-bye. There you go. With Can We Talk Vision, Miss Coranda Peeples, beautiful, beautiful young lady that went through a tragic situation, but I met her in such a crazy, different way. But a lot of us can't go through those kind of things and come out with a smile. And she had determination and inspiration and courage to say, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to get through this. And I have to say that, you know, we all have to think about things that we go through. Some of us don't go through as much as other people, and we can't get through that. So, you know, this young lady had to pull out her faith from somewhere. And she was able to do that with a blessing of God and what he has given her. You know, you want to say you're born for a time like this, but, you know, after losing a brother and in an accident, you know, none of us want to see anything like that happen. But we won't think about that part. We're going to talk about where she's at. You know, a lot of times we talk about that part, but where is she now? She has brought a beautiful baby girl into life, and she's doing other things, and she's being inspired. She's taking her time, and she's giving back to the Shepherd Center, who helped her along the way. And, you know, that's another testament. You know, do we go back and give back? That's important. And even if we don't go back and give back, where do we give? You know, it's about giving to others who need that love, who need that support. She had an amazing family around her. Some people don't have that. So no matter where you are in life, you know, you got to look to build your life. Look for your niche on this world platform. Your niche is not just when you open your front door. Your niche is not just your job or your church. Your niche is the world. Where can you go in this world and be a light, a beacon of light? You don't have to be the street light, just a beacon of life, just something that's enough to bring some hope to the next person. Life is about opportunities. Life is about challenges. Of course, life is about its ups and downs. But at the end of the day, we all have to trust God to help us get through things, help us move past things, help us in our future self and help us to let the past stay over our shoulders and not always try to bring it into a backpack and put it on all the time. There's some people wear the mask of healing. If you know if you're healed or not, you know that. Work hard to, just like you get in the gym and work, just like you get at your job and work hard to get into you and work. That's important. It's extremely important. So this is Myra McKnight with Can We Talk? I am so glad to have you in my space and glad you allowed me to be in your space today. And please continue to look for more videos on words of inspiration, conversations. And also you can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Myra McKnight, also Instagram, Myra McKnight, also Pinterest, Myra McKnight, LinkedIn, Myra McKnight. My website is admin@premiercounseling.com. I am the president and CEO of Better One, Better Two Relationship Academy. My goal in life is about being a better person so I can be a better partner. My goal is to help you be a better person so that you can be a better partner. I also coach women, and I coach them not to leave their mate, but to love their mate, to live with their mate. I'll never tell you to leave, but I will tell you one thing: how precious you are in God's sight. I will tell you how magnificent, how marvelous, how amazing and phenomenal that you are in God's sight. I will tell you that your power is your power alone. I will tell you that you don't never give up your power, ladies, and you never allow anybody, nobody, no one to stump on your power as if they can. God has given you something amazing. He's given you life more abundantly. He's given you the opportunity to think for yourself. And I'm one woman that thinks that if you hurt me, you make me cry, and you break my heart, I don't know how much love you have for me. So we'll leave it at that to the next time. If you didn't get the chance to look at my video when I talk about Boaz has to be created and not found, I have a second part of that that's going to be coming soon. Your Boaz is not found. He is created and created by you. So this is Myra McKnight with Can We Talk? We are on SRN Live Television, and I am so grateful to be on the platform, and I want to thank our sponsors who have given us this opportunity to be here with you and give you this practical, non-traditional, real talk information. And this is Myra McKnight. Please don't forget to check me out. And if you have any questions, please send it to admin@premiercounselingatlanta.com, and I will answer your question on air. I will send you an email back and let you know as well. This is Myra McKnight signing off for now. I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye.
Get at me for features.